If you've been watching my videos for a while, you may know that I've been keeping a close eye on Splatoon 3 for its updated mechanics and fixes. I did miss the early Splatfest demo, but I now have the game as it's been released, and I'm going to take you through everything I noticed, loved, or hated in Splatoon 3. The first thing I noticed happens right when you boot up the game. Instead of watching this long cutscene announcement, you can skip it and get to the game immediately. This announcement also plays in the corner when the stages update while you're online. To play online, we have the test room lobby to mess around in, and some fun 2D projections of other players who are waiting in your lobby. Playing with friends is made much better as well, as creating a friend lobby will guarantee you're all on the same team every time in game. The menus in the lobby all use different buttons than I'm used to coming from Splatoon 2, but everything works just as smoothly once you understand it all. In the lobby we also have the locker stuff, and while I thought this would end up being super lame, I'm actually kind of into it. My locker has already been made taller as my level's been increasing, and I've kept it stuffed full of all good stuff. Looking at everyone else's lockers can also be pretty fun because some people get really creative, while others like to mess around. The other part I really like about this lobby is that they had optional training ready for players who weren't planning to jump right into the campaign. Normally the campaign would have explained things one by one, and I'm sure it still does, but now in the multiplayer lobby you can talk to the cat over here after any game, and he'll always have something to say or show you about how one of the weapons works. I think this is really handy to put here because until I played the campaign in Splatoon 2, I didn't know a few things about the inkjet or curling bomb simply because I never tried to mess around with them like that. Getting to know everything like this is fantastic to me and very inclusive for new players that just want to try the multiplayer. Getting into the game though, it's exactly what you'd expect. The regular Splatoon gameplay is all here and more. The Splatana happens to be extremely fun and I don't normally care for melee weapons that much, and the Tri-Stinger happens to be one of my favorite weapons so far. Of course I still love my close range arrow sprays and Splattershot Juniors, but the bow has become one of my main weapons pretty quickly. With the longbow you can fire exploding bolts over a long range, and the small crossbow fires regular bolts very quickly with slightly less range. I love this as a weapon class. The Squid roll is very useful, not really for getting anywhere fast, but more so for in-battle moments. Jumping out of the walls or jumping in a reverse direction can really help you get to a safe position to keep fighting. The wall climb, however, I don't think it's that useful. Maybe if you have to sit in a wall to regain ink anyway, it could be charged in the meantime to get a good quick ascension, but jumping up walls is already pretty fast in this game. Kinda hard to beat the classic movement here in my opinion, especially because there aren't a ton of walls that are tall enough to make this charge time worth it. The match history is really neat as you can look through the last of your games if you're curious about any of them. And you can even watch the replays. I don't have much of a use for replays, but a match history is always nice for a flex when you get a good game, or to see which teammates may have dropped the ball after the fact, so it's a welcome addition for me. This game also started tracking deaths in the scoreboard. I didn't think Nintendo would do that honestly because Splatoon 2 only tracked your kills, but now you have kills and deaths as public knowledge. The way upgrading gear works in this game remains the same as Splatoon 2, but now if you find duplicate gear in the shop, you can use it to increase the rarity of the piece that you already own, or trade it for a new one with a different primary ability. I think this is a really good addition because now it allows you to skirt around the use of sea snail currencies, which still exist. Moving over to Salmon Run, I've been enjoying it. I already ranked up a ton and the rotations have all been pretty good so far. The new maps are way better than Splatoon 2's in my opinion, which honestly goes for Turf War as well, and I really like having the bow and blade show up so much in this mode on release. This game mode has always been about finding comfortability in new weapons, so to get used to the new ones here was a great idea. The King Salmonid is quite difficult though, and the only time I was finally able to destroy it was in a lobby I played while I wasn't recording, but I have taken him out once now. I'm excited to see what other King Salmonids eventually come to be because these boss fights feel really epic when you finally win. And I think I've pretty much covered everything. I'm sure there are a few small fixes that I forgot to go over, like the equip screen being extremely fast in loading or something, but I want the ending note of this video to be that I'm having an amazing time playing Splatoon 2. I haven't even touched the campaign yet. That's probably going to turn into its own video honestly, so stay tuned. I'll do everything there is to do. With that, I only ask that you subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video, and maybe leave a comment about what your favorite change to the game is. As for now, my name's Myloe, and I'm out.